I have an SAT math tip for you here that deals with questions that could be found on the math with calculator or the math no calculator section. So make sure to subscribe, like, and share. And let's go ahead and get into this question as well as the tip and trick that it deals with. So this is going to be for question 5 from SAT practice test 6. So this is talking about context clues with graphs, right? So if you're asked to find a graph based on any given equation, I'm going to show you some tips you can use to find that graph really quickly and very efficiently. So I have which of the following is the graph of the equation y equals 2x minus 5 in the xy plane. Key thing that jumps out to me right away is obviously I have my y-intercept at -5. That means that any line that crosses this y-axis above 0 has to be incorrect. So I can go ahead and get rid of A. I look at B, I see that its y-intercept is -5, so B could still be a correct answer. Same with D. I look at C, I see its y-intercept is at 5, I see that's going to be incorrect. So now I'm between B and D. Next thing I'm going to look at is my slopes. I see that my slope is a positive 2x, which means since my slope is positive, it's got to go up like that. I see B goes down. Therefore, process of elimination says my answer has to be D. So when dealing with questions about graphs where you have to find the graph, make sure that you're using clues like that. Another thing is if you have a graph that is sort of a more complex one with roots, right? Let's say that you had something like x minus 2 and x plus 4. You know that you can use your roots to find that, right? So obviously your roots then would be x equals 2 and x equals -4, because you would set x plus 4 equal to 0, and you would set x minus 2 equal to 0 and solve for x. When you do that, you'd get x equals 2 and x equals -4. Then you could use your roots on your graph then to find what the correct answer is as well. So you want to make sure that you're using those sort of context clues within the equation in order to help you find what the graph is, right? Use those rules, use your roots, use your slopes, use your intercepts. You want to use all of those things when finding which graph is correct. You want to use your exponents, right? If you have something raised to an even power, anything raised to an even power is either going to go like this or it's going to go like this. Okay, if you have something raised to an odd power, and I'm talking about the largest power, obviously, right? So if you had something that was like x squared, we'll say minus x plus 1, then if you were to look at it really zoomed out, that x squared is going to be the most important part. So if you really zoomed out on the graph, it looks something like that. It'd have n behaviors going up, right? And that's what I'm talking about when I say going up like that or down like that, is I'm talking about the n behavior. There's going to be a little bit of movement probably in between, and I'll zoom down so I got more space to draw so you can see that, right? If you had something raised to, and I'm talking about your biggest variable, let's say that it was raised to the 6th power, right? There could be some movement between your n behaviors. So we got our n behaviors right here. There could be a little bit of movement right around this 0 point, right? There could be a little bit of ups and downs or whatever, but your n behavior is both going to be up if it is a positive, right? Let's say it was -x to the 6th, your n behavior then would be down, right? So you'd have your arrows going down. You could have some sort of movement around here, right? If we were to put that on there, there could be some movement there, but n behaviors ultimately going to be going down because you have x to the 6th, but you got that negative out in front of it, right? So, and then if you have an odd, let's say that we have an odd, so let's say we have x to the 5th or something like that, then you're going to have opposite end behavior. So you have one end going up, right, and you'd have one end going down, okay? So you'd have one up, one down. So you wouldn't have them both going up like you do an even. So that's just things that you can use when dealing with graphs on the SAT math section in order to determine which answer is correct. You want to look for intercepts, you want to look at slopes, and you want to look at zeros, and you want to look at end behavior. Those are the big 4 things that you want to look at when dealing with graphs on the SAT math section. So hopefully that was helpful. If it was, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, have a great day.